Hey friends, this is Miss Nikki's Traveling Story Bag, and I just want to share a really quick story with you for your everyday life so you can stop and think about it. This is a story about a family. Now, they're going to go on a camping trip. So they got their trailer all hitched up to the back of the truck. They got their bikes up onto the back of the bike rack, all the foods in there, the clothes they need, the water, the flashlights, everything. They're checking to make sure they have everything they need for this great weekend away. And so they all pile into the truck and away they go on their road trip to the campgrounds. Now, when they get to the campgrounds, when you get there, they took their tents out. They're going to sleep outside, a little bit. They set up, the rocks so they could put their campfire out. They took out what they were going to eat for dinner that night. And, they're just really just getting to the camp and they're just setting up so they can sit and relax and enjoy the rest of the day. And so when they get to the campgrounds, there's other families there. There's two boys on their bikes, and they ride by and they say, "Hey," and they introduce themselves to the family's son. And they says, "Hey, we're getting ready to ride our bikes, and we're gonna go find some butterflies. You want to come with us?" And so he said, "Ooh, that sounds cool." So he looks to his parents and says, "Hey, can I go with them on the trail to find some butterflies?" And so they said, "Sure, that should be all right." And so his parents say, "Hey, but just remember what we told you. Watch out on that trail. And remember what we told you about that forest." And he said, "Okay." So he runs and grabs his jar, gets his bike, gets his little net, puts it down on his bike, and off they go, up the trail. They're going to find some butterflies. And when they get up the trail, he spots the most beautiful butterfly. I mean, it's almost the size of his hand, and it's like a fluorescent blue, and it's got red and white speckles all around the rim of his wings. And he thought, "Man, that is beautiful. I gotta get that one." And so he creeps and creeps and creeps, and he takes his net and whoosh, he misses, and it flutters and flutters and flutters and flutters, and it lands on top of a flower. And he goes down low, and with his net, whoosh, but this time he caught it, opened up his jar, put the butterfly down in there, twisted the jar back on, and just as he looked up, man, there were several other ones. He said, "I'm gonna get some more of these." And so he says, "Hey guys, I'm gonna get some more of these." And they said, "Okay, we're gonna go a little bit further up." He said, "Okay." So he leaned his bike against the tree and he heads on and he's looking, he goes up under some branches and over another limb and whoosh, he went for it, missed it. So he says, "Okay, I'm gonna go." So he's being really careful not to scare the butterfly. He reaches and whoosh, he puts him in his net, twists it in the jar. He said, "I'm gonna get one more." And so he walks and then he looks and he flutters over there. And so he goes over there after the butterfly really carefully now because he doesn't want to scare the butterfly away. And whoosh, with his net, he caught him. Put it into the jar, twisted the top one. He said, "Man, nobody's going to believe I caught three of these beauties." And so he went and he turned. And just then, as he turned, he looked into a sea of forest, shrubbery, nothing but trees, shrubs all around. He thought, "Oh," he said, "but that's okay. It's easy. I'm just going to go back the way I just came." And so as he's walking, he's walking. It seems like he's walking deeper into the forest. And uh-oh, he heard the sound of water. He said, "Whoa, wait a minute. The campground, I don't remember hearing any water over there where we were." And so he says, "That can't be the way." So he turned and he walked back. He said, "Well, Dad says when you're walking through the forest, mark your way. And maybe, so you don't keep going around the same place over and over again and not getting anywhere." So he took out his pocket knife and he cut a piece of his shirt, just a piece of it, and he tied it on the end of a limb. And then he said, "Well, I've already gone that way, so maybe it's this way." So he starts walking that way. And as he's walking and walking and walking and walking and walking, he notices that it's getting quieter and quieter and quieter. Well, his dad had told him, if it's getting too quiet out there, that means you're probably getting further and further away from camp, son. So don't go that way if you find yourself in a situation like that. And so he said, "Okay." So he cut off another piece of his shirt and he tied it on the limb. He says, "Okay, so I've gone this way and I've gone that way. Neither way, water, too quiet, deeper. So maybe I should take off that way." And so he turned in that direction and he starts walking and walking and walking in that direction. Well, he's starting to hear something. Oh, is it an animal? person. Because his parents had told him, sometimes be still, because you don't know if that's an animal that can hurt you or if it's a person that can hurt you. So he got down low and he was really quiet and he just looked in a direction where he heard the sound coming. It wasn't an animal. Sure enough, it was a person, but he still stayed hidden because, like his dad told him, you don't know if it's a good person or a bad person. So just be still and wait it out. So the person kept on going. He said, okay, well, since he's coming from that way, maybe the trail is that way. So he stood up and carefully walked and walked and walked. Not too far into that other stretch of trees was the trail. So he thought, oh, but the man was coming this way. But maybe he was coming back from where I came. So he went back that way. And as he walked and he walked and he walked and he walked, he got closer. And then he saw somebody else coming. And then he looked and his bike was leaning against that tree where he had left it. Ah, man, he let out a sigh of relief. He got onto his bike, tucked in the butterflies in the jar, and he pedaled back towards the camp, okay? And when he got there, he was so excited because look at the butterflies I caught. Aren't they so pretty? And the parents said, oh my goodness, they are so beautiful. He said, well, it was easier getting these butterflies than it was to get back to camp. And his parents said, what are you talking about? He said, oh, nothing. I'm just glad you guys have told me some really good things about the forest, so I don't get lost out there. It was his secret to himself because he really did get lost out there. So, friends, think about it for your everyday life. Isn't that just like us? We are on our way going somewhere. We're so excited and overzealous because we are going after something we want. And when we're going after something we want, sometimes we get distracted along the way. And we look up and we're someplace where we don't even know where we're at. But 3 things got him back on track. He remembered what his parents told him. And he started paying attention to the very sounds around him. Over here it was water. Over there was too quiet, just too quiet. No people over there. And he just paid attention to what he was seeing. And he even marked his place. So just like in life, you guys, when we're going after those things we want, let's just really stop and take note and pay attention to the signs, to what we see, to what we hear, to what we feel, and to what we know. Paying attention got him back. Listening got him back. Watching got him back to that trail. So while we're on our way in life and doing and getting the things that we want, pay attention. Take notice so you don't get lost out there, so you can find your way back to the path. And with that, my dear friends, I hope that helps somebody. Quick, easy, simple story. I appreciate you guys. Do me a great favor. I'd appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, share it, pass it on with a friend, because our stories, these stories, it's all intended to help. Y'all have a good evening, and I'll see you back here again with something quick and easy for your daily life. Take care.